Well, hello there. It is Thursday, November 17th. I don't know why I did that. We are here to discuss the Challenge 38, Ride or Dies, Episode 6. Oh my God. Woo! Hello again. I am John Dunphy. As you can tell, I'm in a weird mood tonight. I am joined by my Ride or Dies, Kyle Petty and Gina Morgino. We are Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. If you want to find us on the socials, you can find us at Strat Chat Pod. That's on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to go to our website, you can do so, www.stratchatpod.com. Thank you, Kyle, for creating that lovely website. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the Challenge 38. What do you guys? Any initial thoughts on this? Let's go overall.
You know how I feel.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit, obviously, we're very sad to lose our queen here. Have we decided that we don't care about spoiling?
If they're watching this, they've already seen it.
Right. So, like,
let's just talk about it.
Yeah. Of course, we're upset that we've lost Miss Laurel. Like, I love her.
I feel like I barely got to know her.
You did barely get to know her, and unfortunately, this is really not an accurate representation of what Laurel stands for. And she made mention of it during one of her confessionals. She goes, "I have such a reputation to live up to," and this wasn't it. This was a Laurel that was unfamiliar to me, unhinged, really emotionally, like I don't know, like just scattered.
Yeah, she was going through it.
Yeah, this is not the Laurel I once knew.
Right.
I mean, love her unconditionally, but I feel for her that this was I don't know, this didn't look like it was a good time for Laurel.
Right. This was definitely a different Laurel. I'm so used to seeing Laurel being way more like cold and just fierce and like just I don't care about your feelings, like I'm here to win.
And I almost feel like cold is like the wrong word.
Yeah, it is the wrong word.
Yeah, because cold makes it sound as if like, she's not very nice. Like she was more like just very, very like black and white. Like this is just what it is. Like, sorry, very blunt. Like what we saw in that one interrogation when she said, "Do you have a question?"
Yeah.
Like this is an interrogation. I don't owe you anything. Like that. It was like that attitude. That was the Laurel I knew and loved. Felt bad.
Yeah. This was Matt. This was a Matt. What's up, Matt? Reporting for Jay and Michelle.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I don't have good things to say about the Lady Fitzgerald on tonight. No,
Yikers.
I didn't think you would. I'm excited.
Yeah, I didn't think you would either.
Wait, why didn't we think I would? Why?
Well, I personally didn't think that you would because I don't have anything good to say other than that fact that her and Jay.
Listen, I still think she's a fierce competitor. Like I appreciate her for all of that, but she doesn't seem like she's really very much built for this world. I think this will be her last appearance on the challenge. I don't think she's adapting well to this environment. This is really like not for her. I mean, what do you think? She's unhinged.
Yeah, she's just all over the place. She's making deals, deals with everybody. At one point in this episode, she said, like, "I'm protecting everybody right now." Well, it's like that's your fault. What are you doing?
Exactly. You're not doing this right.
And then, like, not to, I mean, we're gonna get into it, of course, but like, she made the same mistake she made last week of like, if you swing, you can't miss. Like, you need to ensure that what you're trying to do is what you're getting done.
Yeah. Every one of her swings is a miss. I mean, it's not even a bunt. It's really
It's
not.
not even a bunt.
It's
Come on,
not.
sports words.
Really. Yeah, come on. I can do both.
Yeah,
you like my little Todrick in there. You're welcome.
So I guess there were really only a couple little things, not necessarily important things, but just things before the daily challenge that I took note of that I liked. So one was in our little club night, Anissa and Jordan talking. I thought you saw like a rare moment of like true emotion from Jordan. Anissa was kind of really talking to him about how like, just proud of him that she was and how he's worked so hard and how he's overcome so much. And he's just such a beast. And then they had like a little confessional aside from that. And they like were continuing to talk. And you could really, I thought, see some like emotion from Jordan. And he was talking about how, things had humbled him. I don't know. I just kind of like that. I feel like this has been a good season for Jordan and Tori, and it's been emotional, but like I feel like we're seeing a different side of both of them than we've seen really in the past. Humble, softer side.
That's fair to mention. It's fair.
Yeah, that's all. And then the other thing that I really enjoyed was when Jack and Jay were working out outside. And just being like, when I said you were garbage, I meant that you were garbage.
And we got that like in the preseason promo or like whatever it was at like that first episode look of what was coming. And I've been waiting the whole time to be like, what is this? When is this happening? I need this to happen. And then it happened. And I was like, oh, like it was just so, I don't know. Something about it was very delicious to watch happen.
Yeah. What do you?
I was like, whatever.
No, I don't know. Honestly, it kind of turns me off to Jack. I really liked him all up until this episode, so his exit really does not upset me. I enjoyed him at first, but I just feel like just really hanging on to this Jay thing a little bit too long. You couldn't have been that close. Like, stop it. That was episode 5. Like,
hey, they wrote a song together at emo night.
Okay, I could write a lot of songs with people if I'm drunk. I mean, like, how many melodies can come out of us? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, no, sorry.
That's true.
Yeah, sorry, that doesn't mean anything. Just relax. You have to remember, you're playing a game. That doesn't mean that your friendship isn't real.
Right.
It's a game.
Absolutely.
So if I'm playing
No,
Uno, I am not to make you draw 4. I should just hold this and sacrifice myself. No.
We love the Uno references.
Well, because I just think it's just something that people can understand in its purest form. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just such a great metaphor. I mean, you can't argue it. It just really drives the point home so deliciously, so very well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then the very last thing before we get into the daily challenge, and I think this highlights kind of how different of a season this was for Laurel than we've seen in the past, is the little this little thing between Laurel and Horacio. Apparently he has a girl at home, and Laurel was very hurt by this and immediately moved out of the room that she was staying in with Horacio. It's what did you think of this whole thing? Did you have any feelings on this? The Laurel Horacio split?
Not positive. I didn't feel like any of this was very authentic. Is it just me? I felt like this relationship was forced. This was like a forced storyline. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about this. I mean, I guess we should, because it does kind of seem to serve as the baseline for her departure, right? And and her mental state leading up to said. But I don't like it. Who cares? Right. Whatever.
Well, of course, before her departure, we saw that Horacio was out and Fessy was getting cozy with Laurel right after Colleen's exit. That was so heartbreaking for him.
My eyes could not have rolled farther into the back of my head if I tried.
And it's like, Fessy, like, don't you think you're a little bit of a clown? Like you don't realize that you're always saying, "Oh, I really could get into this girl." I always thought there could be something, and it's like you say that about
I'm
everyone.
so sick of this man. Get him off my screen. I don't care about him. I don't want him here anymore. I've had enough.
It does crack me up though.
He
No.
does crack me up because he's he's such a clown.
Yes, he's just one of those people that I just enjoy talking smack about.
I don't find it fun.
Right.
I don't find it endearing. I find it so irritating. I don't want to look at him anymore. I've had enough. I can't do this.
I wouldn't necessarily say that either me or Kyle think it's endearing. It's embarrassing. It's funny. It's enjoyable to laugh at.
I mean, at this
messy.
point, if I saw a cast list for the challenge, I would scroll down and like, where's Bessie?
No, I would cry tears of joy. I'd be like, finally, I'm done with him. I don't have to watch him anymore.
Before we go too much further, I do want to bring up the fact that Matt said that his favorite Strat Chat melody was Chosen Fingies from Midnight Mall. Now,
I forgot about
I don't really remember this, okay? Because you remember I was really on one Midnight Mall night. I do remember talking about Frozen Fingies, and this is because of the finale, right?
Right. With
I think this was Will carrying the big ice block up the mountain.
Yeah, but I don't know why we were singing. I don't know it.
Because we're idiots. What do you mean you don't know why we were singing?
I don't remember the melody.
You do, huh?
I don't remember the melody.
Oh, you don't. Well,
I don't fully remember it either, but we gotta
we'll have to go back.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back. Yeah.
I'll post it on the socials.
Yes. But okay, so what was the challenge?
Yeah, let's get into the daily challenge here, which was called Down the Line. I like this one. I like this one a lot. I thought it was fun. It was played in 2 heats. And basically, the players would start at a line here in some kind of field. TJ is going to blow the horn. They have to start running to their specific team color, mark in the ground. There, they would have to start digging and looking for 2 bags of, puzzle pieces. Now, whoever was the first one to get a bag, the teams decided who would do what. So if you were the one that was going to be cranking the zip line they had to go down, you were the one to take the first bag. You would take this first bag, run to your spot, and then start cranking this thing for your partner, so that when they find the second bag of puzzle pieces, they would now run right up to the zip line as far as they could. Depending on how well your partner was cranking the zip line, you would be able to kind of zip line further. Once you were done zip line, you had to drop into the water and swim to this platform where you and your partner would try to solve a word puzzle that had, I think it was 5 words, all with the theme of friendship. So what did you guys think of this challenge, though? Did you like this? Have we seen this before? Anything like this before? I feel like this seemed pretty new.
Yeah, this is unfamiliar to me, and I loved every.
I really liked it a lot.
Very fun to watch. Yeah, awesome. The digging is giving me Survivor. The zip lining is giving me classic challenge. You know what I mean? The puzzle is just, it's giving me challenge, and it's just giving me everything I want. Yeah, this
I really like this one. Yeah,
really fun, really fun.
Oh, and Tori and Devin got off to a real fast start, and Banani also got off to a fast start, which made me feel like, all right, maybe the vets are gonna bounce back from Jay and Michelle's win last week, but quickly we started to see things kind of shift for the vets. Laurel was really struggling. Now all of a sudden, Banani had a great start. They were fighting with each other up there, and there was one word in particular that seemed to be giving everyone a lot of trouble. I think one word was like buddy, one was squad, one was teams, but the one that gave everybody a lot of trouble was amigo. That's the word.
What's gamio?
Everybody up. Yeah, what's gamio? That's not a word. I think Tori said that.
That was Tori. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if all of a sudden one of them was just in another language, I don't know that I would have gotten there either.
Oh no, I definitely wouldn't have. No, and that's why I think it's funny. No, I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah. No. And what do you know? Heat 1 is won by Jay and Michelle. So they take the first heat. Yeah.
The dab yap.
And then the second heat got going, and this was Horacio and Olivia winning this one. This was another good one, but Horacio and Olivia took it. So obviously bad news for the vets. Two strong rookie teams have taken this. And overall, the winners of the comp were Jay and Michelle. So back-to-back daily challenge wins. And I think they were kind of conflicted on this, a little torn, because part of them was like, we just got all this heat on us, all this blood on our hands. We don't really want to be in that position again. And Jay even said, like, I wouldn't really mind if Horacio and Olivia take this, especially because with Horacio and Olivia winning, you would assume that Jay and Michelle are going to be safe. But it was not to be. Jay and Michelle won it. So they were safe, which they were happy about. But now this means they've got to make some more tough decisions. So
you'd think they'd go a little easier about it, though. Like, you would think that after seeing what happened last time, they'd be like, all right, let's maybe slow our roll a little bit, go for some easy targets that aren't going to piss off anybody, and we'll just chill this week.
I think the problem was, though, and we kind of saw, Michelle and Amber talking about this when they got back to the house, is that Michelle had said, she's like, I'm protecting everybody. I made a 1-day deal with Devin.
She's an idiot. That's her problem. Like, why are you doing that?
But she is not long for this world. Like, this is not her game.
You back yourself into the corner here.
You can't make all of these deals with everybody and then also gun to win all the competitions where you have to send somebody home. Yeah. It's one or the other. If you're going to make all these deals, coast a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Rico. Yeah, no, Jay and Michelle are not rookies. However, the way this house is being split, we got problems. They kind of are because, the vets are not accepting.
Yeah, they're more rookies than not, but
they're on the rookie side.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Rico. Really aren't.
I agree with that too.
No easy teams at this point. I mean, and Michelle even said in the interrogation tonight, at this point they're forced to deliberate and choose more than a third of the house to interrogate. They have to pick 4 teams. There's not that many teams in there. If you're making deals with everybody, and Jay and Michelle from the beginning,
the 4 teams really is just a wild.
It's too many. It's too many already.
So many.
Yeah, because you're pissing off. Because everyone is in danger the second you do it. It's not like in other ones where you've called on maybe 3 or 4 teams and then interrogate them and just pick one.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
Yeah. But and I think it's when you have so many of these legends in the game too, it's hard when you've chosen to be on the rookie side here. Cindy says,
I agree,
once a women
Cindy.
see Fessy, he is an asshat.
I don't understand how he pulls so many women. I don't get it.
But I think it's tough though too. Like as for Jay and Michelle, Jay has never been accepted by the vets, ever. Even with making his mark on the game and sort of making some big moves, he's always just been seen as a rookie in the eyes of the vets. So of course he's going to continue to side with them. So that's what I mean there when I say that they're on the rookie side. But let's talk TJ's threads, huh? You want to talk TJ's threads? This was a real casual week. Yeah, real casual week for TJ.
Let's see what he got.
No, this was real casual. So for the daily challenge today, TJ decided to go with a plain white t-shirt here and some cargo pants. A real laid back look. They're down at the water. They're down at the water, spending a day at the beach. He decided to go casual. What do you think of this look here?
This one is actually this one's a little tough. This one's a little. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's a knot. It's what it is. Because you have to pick one or the other. Then what are you gonna do here?
Yeah.
Matt says, I give it summer catalog model vibe. That is true. That is true.
Definitely. I'll give it a tepid. I'll give it a tepid.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now the look for the elimination here, also pretty boring.
But
no scarf.
They're all boring. I don't understand.
No scarf. No scarf in this episode.
No.
Has sort of like a military style jacket. Looks like he's got a hoodie underneath. Slick back hair here. What do you think? What do you think of this look here?
I would give it a hot, actually.
Yeah, I think he looks good.
Winter chic.
Yeah, he looks good here. It looks good. I give it a
Mhm.
hot. I give it a hot. All right.
Thanks, Tej.
Thanks, Tej. Appreciate the looks.
Thank you for fashion.
Now, for me, as much as I love the Daily Challenge, this is really where the episode picked up for me. Right? Would you agree? These are some
Absolutely.
feisty interrogations. What do you got, Kyle? That was a
No,
big
go
sigh.
ahead. No, I'm just I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Yeah. This is the beginning of the Michelle unraveling.
Yeah.
Unraveling.
Yeah. Now, so right before the deliberation, actually, we saw Jay and Michelle have a conversation with Jordan and Anissa. They kind of were kind of hinting to Jordan and Anissa here, like, you're probably going to be going in because, there's not many teams to put in and this and that. And Jordan kind of was making this argument of like, listen, you put us in last week because you said that you didn't feel like you knew where we stood.
Right.
We always thought that we were with you. And now we've come to this understanding and you seem to now want to put us in again, even though there are other teams to choose from. So, what's the deal here? So obviously, already off the bat, there's going to be some fireworks between them. But the 4 teams overall that were chosen by Jay and Michelle were Jack and Laurel, Banani, Casey and Kenny, and of course, Jordan and Anissa. I guess it really should be Banani, right? Her name is Nani, but
Yes.
yeah.
Banani.
But I keep saying Banani. Banani. I'm force myself. Banani.
It's Banani.
Okay, so for the interrogations, we had obviously Casey and Kenny really not wanting to have to go in because Casey's here and she's going to have to face Nani potentially. And we got the flashback of Spies, Lies, and Allies, right? When Casey and Nani faced off in elimination, and Nani, I mean, let's face it, Casey was going to win that elimination anyway, but Nani sort of just gave up.
I forgot all.
I don't know what
that.
I did too.
Yeah. What did you think though of this argument from them? This felt a little weird to me. Like just the whole thing. I don't want to go against my girlfriend. I don't want to go against my girlfriend. What did you think of this argument from them? I feel like your teams that are out there, like if that's how it falls, that's how it falls. I don't know if you can really use that as an argument for why you shouldn't be going in.
I guess it depends on what your relationship is outside of this game, because it is still early enough that you don't have to make that choice. If you're truly friends, you don't have to do that now. You could choose someone else.
Sure.
So if we're really good friends, you would rather me possibly go against my girlfriend other than your one-day deal with Devin, who you don't even really know. Like, come on. I'd be a little mad about that too, but
yeah. And I think Casey had made the argument too. She said so you don't want to ruffle more feathers than you have to. So you decide to ruffle 2 teams' feathers. And I think it was Jay that then said well, we need a strong team to take out Laurel and Jack, and Veronica's not going to beat them. And I in that moment I was like, oh yeah, they could have put Darrell and Veronica in. What? Why not that? Why put 2 people in?
And they did last week, didn't they?
Working. Yeah. So I don't know why they weren't an option, unless there was some kind of deal between them that we didn't see. But
you would think they've already pissed them off, so it's like,
yeah, I don't see
well,
why
if you're
you
gonna keep making the big moves, just stick with the people you already picked.
Yeah, you could have chosen, Darrell and Veronica instead of Casey, and then it'd been fine.
Getting additional blood on your hands, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, not that I wanted to see it, but Bananas and Nani had to go in. At this for Jay and Michelle, they had to. To now skip it again would really, that's you'd be done.
Yeah, not fair enough. And I think Bananas knew, he knew. He was like, they gave us a break last week and they shouldn't have. So there's no way they're gonna do it this week, especially with all the shit they got from everybody in the house. How do you not put Johnny and Nani in?
Right, it's expired. It's expired.
Yeah. But Nani was pretty fired up about the whole thing, and Johnny was almost kind of calming her down, saying they're doing us a favor, so but Nani was not happy about this situation. So those were 2 teams. Laurel and Jack. This was the calmest interrogation of all of them, and I was surprised with how calm Laurel was during this. Jack though was saying that this was all just a poker face from Laurel, that she was kind of. But I'm not sure that it was. I think that from what we saw, with Laurel, how emotional she was getting, the whole thing with Horacio and all that, even if we feel it might have been a little forced, I feel like this was a different Laurel. Like, this was not for show. This didn't feel like a poker face to me. This felt like Laurel feeling kind of like just emotionally and mentally like defeated. I don't know. I don't really know. That's what it felt like to me. What do you guys think?
Kind of like just done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then my favorite interrogation, Anissa and Jordan. This got heated. Jay was ready to fight. What did you think of this whole interrogation? Jordan kept saying that they've been making promises to everybody. They can't keep doing that, and expect everyone to be just like happy with it or whatever. Jordan called them weak at one point, and Jay was fired up. But yeah, any thoughts on this interrogation?
It went exactly how I thought it would go.
Yeah.
I think they have every right to be upset.
Of course.
Because even if you're going to keep saying like, I don't know where you stand, well, clearly they now know where you do. They're just not prioritizing you. That's really it.
Yeah,
it's very clear. So that's it. That you've drawn a line in the sand.
Right.
I'd be mad too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing that I wanted to touch on too. What about this whole thing between Bananas and Nani? Nani was not happy about Bananas like messing around during the competition.
Oh god, that got real messy.
Joking around. Because I wrote it down after the fact because they had a conversation about it after. I meant to bring it up earlier. But what did you think of this whole thing? It was interesting because like Nani, like it felt like she was very much like, I'm here to win. This is how I'm here to play. And I'm like, you're talking to a 7-time champ. You don't think he's there to win? And like, I will admit, it seemed like he was joking around a bit during the competition, maybe not taking it as seriously as he should. But were you surprised at all with how like, like, were you surprised at all with how heated Nani got over this or?
Like yes and no. Because Nani really wants to win so bad. She really does. Yeah. And I think
she's had a rough time lately with her mom.
Yeah. Like she already is not coming in here with a very great headspace. But I think she still, even without that, I still think she would have gotten that frustrated with a partner that she felt wasn't giving 100%.
Right, like even if I was in there, like if I'm trying my best to try to win this competition and someone's just like screwing around, I'd be pissed off too. I'd be like, what is the matter with you? Like, what? Shut up and just do this with me. Like, help me.
Right. And you're screwing around is also like kind of mocking me at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you're not even just being silly for silly's sake. You're also like poking fun at me.
You've never heard of what a vowel is. Like, shut up. I'm trying to do something right now.
Exactly. Right. I'm trying to do what you should be doing too.
Yeah.
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 I could see it. I could see it.
All righty. So we're pretty much, at the elimination at this point. I know there was a conversation between Jay and Michelle. Michelle was getting very emotional, talking about how guilty she felt. She felt like a bad person, all that. You have anything to add? I know you've been. Did you have anything specific that you wanted to talk about?
No, it's
with
just
Michelle,
all of that.
Tyler?
Like, what do you mean you feel like a bad person? You're playing your game. Like, stop.
Right.
And this is why I feel like this is not for her, because she seems like she's really having a rough time playing this game. And this was the moment that I said, I don't think we're going to see her back. I think this is the end of Michelle. Like however this ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's too bad. That's too bad. I do like Michelle, but I think you're right.
Unless something turns around or something, but she seems to really be struggling with some of these decisions. And again, it's pretty early in the season. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. It's only going to get harder. Jay keeps saying that. It's only going to get harder. It's only going to get harder and nastier. That's the game. It's a lot of money on the line. So, all right, let's talk about this elimination.
Let's.
Sure. We get to the zone, the discovery zone, and Jay and Michelle have decided. And I think before these interrogations, their choice was going to be Laurel and Jack, right? From what we saw. But after these interrogations, after it was decided that Anissa and Jordan would be chosen to go straight into elimination.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, they had to do it after that whole conversation, that interrogation. This is the way they had
Yeah,
to
it was a
go.
mess.
So
Yeah, it was a mess.
right. So they were chosen, which then meant that Benani, Laurel and Jack, and Casey and Kenny would have to pull the daggers. So right off the bat, Benani went first, and they picked the safe dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So from here, we all knew it was going to happen. Of course, Benani, yeah, they're going to save Casey and Kenny, which means that our elimination. This was the toughest elimination yet. Laurel and Jack against Anissa and Jordan. Yeah, this was the toughest elimination of the season for me to watch by far.
Yeah, because there was no good outcome for us.
Mm-hmm.
Not for people who like had old time fans of the show. If you're new, I guess you don't really give a damn. But for us, this was a tough one to see, especially because deep down I knew Laurel was leaving. Just because of her whole attitude, where she was. She had a rough go.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's not ready to play. She's not ready for this.
Right. I feel like her head wasn't in it. And Jordan was in absolute beast mode. So fired up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because he was mad.
And oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So the elimination was called In Your Face. Which we'll actually be talking about a little bit later when we start talking about Challenge Australia.
That worked out so nicely.
I loved it. Love it.
So in this elimination, In Your Face, the teams would go back and forth and they would haul these concrete blocks onto this large box, right? And they had to stack them up. And once they stacked all of the blocks on there, the weight of this would then open a gate that would cause a number of balls to come rolling out of this box. And then one player would play offense, using these balls to throw at targets with their opponent's faces on them, while their partner, their duo, their person would play defense behind them, trying to block the other person from throwing the balls at their targets. Right? Did I explain that correctly? It sounded right? I think.
Yeah, it sounds great.
So of course, we got Jordan and Anissa carrying 4 cinder blocks back and forth at a time, like the absolute beasts that they are. They get their balls first.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Can we please shout out Anissa right now for that?
Yeah. What a beast.
And looked like she was not even breaking a sweat. No. She was like, I gotta carry these.
She's like, you want me to carry these? Oh, I'll take 8. Yeah. Like crazy. Way to go, Anissa. Yeah.
I'd be holding up one, like, oh God. Like
yeah. And something that I noticed, and I guess we'll talk about this more later, but in this elimination, in this version, in the Challenge 38, did you see that pile of cinder blocks that was just on Anissa and Jordan's box? They were just like, it was not a stack. It was just this giant pile of cinder blocks. Whereas in Australia, we saw them very nicely and neatly like, stacking them. But we'll get to that later. So at this point, it was close for like a brief moment because Anissa and Jordan got their balls, and it seemed like it didn't take Laurel and Jack that much longer to get theirs. But Jordan definitely got at least a 2 or 3 target head start. And then Laurel started throwing. She got a couple, but Anissa did a great job playing defense. I think TJ actually called out, how great of a job that she did. And Laurel, Laurel and Jack, Laurel didn't seem like she was totally in it. Jack wasn't doing as good of a job blocking. And Jordan, with 1 target left, with the ball in his hand, points up at Jay and says, "What did I tell you? What did I say?" And he throws the last ball, and it goes right through the target.
I felt that one.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately, that means that Laurel and Jack are going home. And Jordan and Anissa win the elimination. And they're coming back into the house with a vengeance. Fired up, ready to go. So, man, I have to tell you, I really, really want to see Laurel back. I hope that if this isn't like a one-time thing that she comes back and then we don't see her again for a while or something. I feel like she's going to want to redeem herself. I feel like after this season too, this was not a typical Laurel season.
No, she's coming back. She's coming back.
She has to.
She has to.
And before she left, she told Jordan, she said, kick Jay and Michelle's ass.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that. I'm excited for the next. Of course, I'm excited for the next episode. But from the next on that we got, one of the things that stuck out to me is that it looks like Devin is going to be sort of the source of like a lot of anger from people. I heard somebody say, I think it was Michelle, made a comment saying like every time someone wins, Devin is super nice to them and starts to get buddy with them.
Mhm.
And it was interesting to me that it seemed like Michelle was the one that said that because she was the one that, made this 1-day deal with him and, and all that. So we'll see if there's any more drama from that. It also looked like there was something, like some heated conversation going on outside around a fire pit at the house. And it looked like almost, and this could be editing, but it looked like Nelson at this point had started like yelling at Devin. So it looks like there could be a lot of heat on Devin next week, potentially.
There always is at some point.
Yeah.
Always is. Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah.
I'm anxious to see what happens with Jay and Michelle really going forward. That's the most interesting storyline right now to me.
Right.
Yeah. I think they're going to have a really rough road. Although I have to give it to them for somebody actually making some real active, like this season is what the hell was the last one called? Is that Spies, Lies, and Allies?
Yeah.
This season is doing what last season should have. Bottom line. Who cares what it's called?
Oh.
Like, these rookies need to start making these moves on these vets, or they're just going to keep kicking them out. Like, if you want this game to start changing a little bit and start to freshen up, like you got to start playing it, So, no matter how tumultuous Jay and Michelle's run is going forward, I appreciate the fact that she has shaken things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. There's been so many forgettable rookies over the last few years, and this season we're getting rookies that are really putting in the work, making the big moves.
Yeah.
Some of them have gone home for it, but it's made the season really exciting. And it's
Olivia and Horacio.
Yeah.
Literally every person on the season says it differently.
Thank goodness. Because I
have no idea how to pronounce his name.
Because I feel like I've heard it two different ways. And
I've heard every version that you just said, someone has said.
Okay. Maybe not Horatio, but
right.
But yeah. But it's been fun. It's been very fun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But
this is an interesting comment. But there needs to be a bit more balance in terms of rookies to vets. If not, the vets will always team up against the rookies. I do agree with that.
Well, I will say in Spies, Lies, and Allies, it felt like a pretty 50-50 split.
That actually did feel that way, because we had a lot of people we didn't see, like Miss Esther. Remember, there were a lot
of like international players that had never been on before.
Yeah, and they just didn't take advantage.
Yeah.
This season, I definitely do feel like there were more vets than.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Especially because you had vet teams being brought in, 2-3 weeks into the game.
Yeah.
I think also the theme of this season too kind of just like calls for that.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah.
I also don't know. Yeah, I don't care about a rookie,
right.
I don't know you. I don't know you.
Like, unless you're Casey, right? Unless you're Casey, who's bringing in your brother, most of the vets, their ride or die is going to be another vet. So.
Which, if I heard his voice and I wouldn't even know it was him. Who is he? Who's Kenny?
Yeah, they had the edit.
I think I'm pretty sure he's the only one that's like never done reality TV before. He's like, I'm just Casey's brother.
Hello.
No.
Hi. Yeah,
there's been some players that feel like they just disappear sometimes. Casey and Kenny is one duo. There's a couple others that it just seems like they're not getting. Even like Amber B and Chauncey. I will see Amber like once in the episode and then never see her again. She's a former winner, And I feel like, that's the thing too. Like I feel like there's obviously way more vets in this game, but like the way that the lines have broken down, and now like with like Laurel going home this week, it's like I feel like some vets have left and some vets are working with the rookies. So it does balance out a little bit there. Like Jay and Michelle have won the last 2 weeks. they're a vet team that is working with the rookies. Like they're considered to be more rookies, newer vets. And it's like, you do have some balance there. I mean, the rookies have technically had the power the last 2 weeks. So
that's only because Jay and Michelle have been winning.
Well, right. Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, they're not on the vet side. So
no.
But yeah. You guys have anything else for this episode?
No, I do not.
I don't think so.
Okay. This is a good one. I'm looking forward to the rest of the, to seeing what happens next. This is going to be
Is it even on next week, or is it in 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Is it on for Thanksgiving Eve?
I'm not sure.
I didn't think about it.
No,
I'm not sure.
We have to figure out when we're covering things. Are we doubling up the next Thursday? I might be late. We'll have to talk offline.
Oh. Yeah, we'll have to figure this out.
Yeah,
because I guess next Thursday we won't be here, right? We won't be here for Thanksgiving.
Right.
What?
Like next week, the 24th, Thursday.
Which is Thanksgiving, so we won't be going live.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Right. So I'm just saying we'll have to figure out what we're doing.
We're all saying the same thing.
I thought he was adding, and I'm like, right, that's what I said.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll figure out what's happening. We'll be back. So what is coming up though for anyone that's not joining us at 10:30 when we talk about Challenge Australia, to let people know what's happening. Monday we have something special on the horizon. I don't think I would say exactly yet exactly what it is. We haven't even posted about it on social media, so thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Said we all said the same thing 3 different ways. Yeah,
we sure did.
That's us.
True. It's true. All right.
So special event on Monday at 9.
Monday, 9 p.m. We'll hopefully be announcing that soon. And then we won't be back next Thursday. We'll have to figure that out. And
didn't we decide we're doing Survivor at 10:30? So we're pushing Survivor.
Oh,
back.
That's right. That's correct. Because we're technically supposed to be talking Survivor next Monday, but we're gonna have a special thing hopefully at 9 p.m. Survivor at 10:30 p.m. Thursday, we'll figure out what we're doing for the challenge stuff. I think that's it for next week. If you want to find us on the socials, you can do so at StratChatPod on Twitter and Instagram, or check out our website, www.stratchatpod.com. Hang out with us, follow us, like us, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll be with you again shortly.
Yeah,
shortly.